Okay, so with vector functions, we can also find specific antiderivatives that satisfy a given initial condition. So let's do that with an example. Let's find the antiderivative of the given vector function. So what's given is a derivative of r of t that satisfies the condition that r of 0 is 3, negative 2, 1. It's the vector 3, negative 2, 1. So we want to find the specific antiderivative function that satisfies the initial condition. We're going to start by finding the family of functions, r of t, whose derivative is given. So we'll first find the family, and that means we're going to take the indefinite integral. And once we do that, the initial condition that we have will allow us to find the vector c that we need, the specific function whose derivative is given and passes through and contains the vector r of 0. So let's do the indefinite integral first. So we're going to take the integral of cosine of 2ti minus 2 sine tj plus 1 over 1 plus t squared k. And so integrating component by component, we are going to have antiderivative of cosine of 2t will be sine of 2t over 2. Antiderivative of negative 2 sine t will be plus 2 cosine t. Oops, we need an I here, and we need a j here. Antiderivative of 1 over 1 plus t squared is inverse tangent, so we have tangent inverse of tk. And the entire family of functions whose derivative is given will include the possibility of having a plus c at the end, which is a vector. Now, our initial condition is going to allow us to solve for c. So let's see how we might do that. We are given that, so this is our r of t that we have found. And we know that r of 0 is the vector 3, negative 2, 1. So let's go ahead and plug in 0 into our function r of t. And that should be equal to the vector 3, negative 2, 1. So that will help us solve for our c at the end. So coming back, putting 0 in place of t into our vector function, into our family of antiderivatives, we're going to get sine of 0 is 0. So we have a 0i. Cosine of 0 is 1, so we have a plus 2j. And tangent inverse of 0 is the angle whose tangent is 0, which is 0. So 0k plus some vector c. Let's give it 3 components, c1, c2, and c3. And we know that this should equal to 3, negative 2, 1, because that is r of 0. Now, I didn't do a very good job here because I kind of used 2 notations at once. So let me use one consistent notation. So we have vector 0, 2, 0 plus this constant or vector that's composed of 3 scalars, c1, c2, c3. That must be equal to r of 0, which has components 3, negative 2, 1. So this 0, 2, 0 comes from evaluating our antiderivative function with t equal to 0. Now, this is going to tell us that 0 plus c1 must be equal to 3 if I just attend to the x components of our vectors. We also have that 2 plus c sub 2 must be equal to the negative 2. This is equating all of our y components. And 0 plus c sub 3 must be equal to 1. So that's looking at our z components. So that tells us that c1 is 3, c2 equals negative 4, and c sub 3 will equal to 1, just solving these three equations. So our solution then is a vector function r of t whose components, well, first we had components sine of 2t over 2, 2 cosine of t, and tangent inverse of t, plus our constant vector c. But we found our constant vector to have components 3, negative 4, and 1, and we found that by using our initial condition. Now, if we add these two vectors, we're going to get our final particular solution that satisfies the initial condition, and that will be sine of 2t over 2 plus 3, combining our x components, 2 cosine of t minus 4, combining our y components, and tangent inverse of t plus 1, combining our z components. And this is our final solution. It is a particular solution given a derivative vector function and an initial condition.